Welcome back to Being Mrs. S. That's my little magic dust, you know? Okay, so today is going to be an informational video. And as I always say, and I have to preface everything by saying, especially when I talk about topics like this, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not even what one would call an expert in these topics. It's just, again, like I said, my YouTube channel is called Being Mrs. S, and I'm just sharing my life with you guys and sharing things that work for me or I find interesting or whatever. So that's what we're going to do today. Today I am going to be talking about menstrual cups. Now, I don't know if you listen to my podcast of the same name, Be Mrs. S. It's you can catch it or listen to it anywhere, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you can find Be Mrs. S there. If you're on Spotify, subscribe to my channel, and I talk about more about my life, marriage, and then I get into the reality TV shows and things like that, and I talk about that on my podcast. But one of the things I talked about in one of my earlier episodes was about menopause, and perimenopause, menopause, whatever you want to call it, that menopause, that thing that all women are going to experience at some point in their lives, and it just so happens being a woman of a certain age, like we're in that realm. And I talked about a few things on that topic, which happened to be one of the topics that a lot of people actually loved to hear about. So I'm going to talk about, this is something that I've been saying I was going to share for a while now on my channel, and I've just now gotten around to doing it because I'm getting to a point where I can begin to use these again. So obviously, if you're subscribed and you've been following my journey, my Ozempic journey, Ozempic, you know. If you've been following my journey, you will you will know that I've been on a path to lose all of this weight I gained since the start of the pandemic. It's so exciting, and like, I shouldn't be shocked because I've lost this much weight before. So I don't know why I'm so shocked about it this time. Well, I know why. It's been so difficult. It really has been difficult. Like, I think I've talked about this before. When I gain weight, losing it is not a problem. I lose it just like that and I go about my business. But this time it's been so tough for me. But the other day I was dancing in front of my BDD and I was like, do I look like I've lost some weight? And he's like, you look like you've lost 70 pounds. And then I was like, what? What are you talking about? 70 pounds? I have literally lost 70 pounds. I've lost 50 while I've been on Ozempic, but overall, I am down 70 pounds. And it's amazing, and I'm still going. Think about it. I'm down 70 pounds and my app still has the nerve to tell me that I am still in obese class 1. Is that not crazy? Is that just not bonkers? But anyway, I haven't even gotten into the overweight category yet. I'm still in obese class 1, but I have lost 70 bloody pounds. Okay, So let's get into the topic of today. Today we're going to be talking about menstrual cups. If you're a man watching this channel, if you have children or a wife who's still menstruating, you can watch it, you can share, whatever. Everybody is welcome to hear about this topic. I find this topic very interesting, and let me tell you where all of this came from. I had gone to the grocers one day to pick up my tampons, and I buy tampons and the pads and all of that. But then I was only going to pick up tampons because then that was all I was using. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a pandemic. I don't know what it was. I saw the price and I was like, this is something I've bought all my life. And for some reason, I wasn't concerned about the price. But I saw the price and I was like, oh my God, is that what I've been paying for this bloody thing? And we're talking about I'm using boxes and boxes of it in one period because my period typically lasts 7 days. And I was like, what is this madness? This is insane. So I said, there has to be a better way. Listen, all my life I've been using tampons. All of a sudden now it's like ding, ding, ding. I think part of it was, as now married, because I've been single all my life, and I got married, and my BDD's task is to take the trash out, and I just did not like the idea of him maybe picking the trash up one day and my tampon rolls out, even though I wrap it up or whatever. I just don't like seeing other people's bodily fluids, and that's the same way I feel about mine. I don't want him to see those. I know it's a weird thing I go through, but that's what it was. So that, coupled with the fact that, oh my God, I've been paying this much on tampons and they're just not, I was like, let me even look into this menstrual cup thing. Now, the idea of the menstrual cup sounded really good to me because it's reusable, it's good for the environment, and it's quite sanitary, right? And I'm not tossing it away, so there's no chance of him seeing a tampon roll out or whatever. Just work with me. This was I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm switching to menstrual cups. So the one I picked up was this one called Organic Cup. The story is crazy because you're like, okay, so why are we talking about this now? Well, I'm talking about it now because these crazy things that happen with the woman's body, this whole perimenopause, menopause thing that I didn't quite understand. And then, of course, this tremendous weight gain that I had. I've always had normal periods. They last 7 days, but they were never crazy. They were right. So I brought home the menstrual cup. Learning to use it was like, I had to do it a couple of times. I had to do a few tries, and then I finally got it to work. And I was like, I just don't know why I don't know why I hadn't, and it's possible, they weren't around in my time and they probably just came out now. Who knows? I don't know. But I wondered why I hadn't used it all this time. Then all of a sudden, my period changed. I started getting this ridiculously heavy periods, spaces. And I was like, what is this joke? Like, what is happening? And so then the menstrual, because really, technically, if you're having normal periods and what tampons and things like tampons and pads have done to make us think that you're really bleeding a lot. And that's not to say people don't. There are people who have issues with their periods. I've forgotten the medical name of what that term is, where you have excessive bleeding, and it's because that's kind of what I've been going through this past few years. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about normal periods. Some people don't even have, mine was stretched out to 7 days, and I'm saying 7 days because any instance of blood I saw, it's counted, right? But I didn't have excessive bleeding or things like that. my periods were normal. I never had all those PMS issues and things like that way back then. So I buy this menstrual cup. It takes me a minute to figure out how to use it. I start using it, and then all of a sudden my period changes. I'm having these excessive bleeding spells, like back to back to back to. I don't know if I should be sharing this because of my medical life, but this is what I was like, I cannot believe this mess. So that's the one thing I need to tell you about. If you're wanting to use the menstrual cup and you have excessive bleeding and things like that, it's probably not your best bet. It will not work. But if you have very normal periods and you just do the regular bleeding, this is a perfect alternative to tampons or sanitary pads or things like that. So why am I doing this today? Since being on Ozempic and now while on Ozempic, I've lost 50 pounds. Well, overall I've lost 70 pounds. My period is coming back to its normal state. Now it's either coming back to its normal state, or these fluctuations that I've experienced just come with the territory of being perimenopausal or menopausal or whatever. So I don't know what the situation is. I'm still having a period, but they are normal now, or getting normal. So now I'm getting into the phase where I can go back to using this menstrual cups, because when that whole thing changed, my tampons were being changed maybe every 30 minutes, every hour or something like that. That's how excessively I was bleeding. But now everything has normalized and I can go back to using the menstrual cups, and no more I would use a tampon, and then I would augment that with a pad, those really huge pads. Let's not get into that. Anyway, so when I went when I got the organic cup, so they have two sizes. I think they have two sizes, a size A and a size B. I think a size A is for younger people who are just starting out. Size B, I think it's just two sizes, I'm not sure. And then I liked it so much, I went and I got, because when I did the research, there was a whole lot of, oh, we like the Diva cup and stuff like that, so I got the Diva cup as well to try both of them. But I have 2 packs of the organic cup, and then I bought the one of the Diva cup. And I think I went back to the organic cup because that's the one that I really like. It's really cool because they both come with these carry pouches that you can put them in and carry them with you. Now the reason I like the menstrual cups is because you can insert them and they can stay right there and catch the your blood for up to 12 hours. If you are having a normal period, remember that's what I'm telling you. If your period is normal, don't try it with the excessive bleeding. It's not your friend, because the cup is going to get so full, and I learned this the hard way. And when you now go to take it, I remember having this conversation. I think I was talking about it with my sorority sisters, and they were like, and one of them said that she tried it and it looked like she was an axe murderer or something like that, because that's exactly what happened when I tried to take it out. There was blood everywhere, and I was like, what is this madness? But if you're having normal periods, it doesn't, and I'm going to show you in a minute what it looks like. it has enough of a capacity to catch all the blood that needs to come out, to where there's enough space left, so when you're taking it out, you don't end up creating, you know, a crime scene in your bathroom. But because of the time that you can keep it in, I would say the best place to insert and to take it out is in the bathroom. After you shower, you put it in, and just before you go to bed or whatever, you take it out, and you do that in the shower. It makes sense to have 2 or 3, because if you're going to go to bed with it, you can switch it out. So I'm going to show you this is the pouch for the organic cup, and I'm going to show you what the organic cup looks like. So that is the organic cup. It has the organic cup name written up top there, and then you have this little thing that's sticking out here to help you disengage it. And the instructions show you how to put it in. I don't know if you guys watching the show on HBO called The Last of Us, where it's kind of like Walking Dead's answer to zombies or whatever. So some crazy fungus comes in and people start eating each other or whatever. But the main character, I think her name is Ellie. She's running around with what's his name, and they go to this place, and this lady hands her some, you know, products, hygiene products, and one of them was the organic cup. And when I tell you, it was like the way she got it right away, the way she fixed it or whatever, I was like, oh, she's a pro. You know, how did she know to do that right away? It was quite interesting. But the organic cup shows you different ways you can push this down. I don't know if you can see that. And then insert it like that. Or you can create a C situation like this, and you can insert it, okay? And you're supposed to hear like a pop when it goes in, and if it's sat right on your cervix, if it's sat properly. They have, and what's the other one? I can read the box and I'll tell you the different ways. And you put it in there. Just like a tampon, you're not supposed to feel it. If it's uncomfortable, it's not placed properly there. If it's placed properly, you don't feel it, and it does its job. It's perfect. So this is what the organic cup looks like. The Diva cup, I like it because it has this nice little purple pouch. It's pretty. And the Diva cup, okay, I should do a side by side so you can see. So this feels like a thicker rubbery material. This one's not as thick, but this is what the Diva cup looks like. Okay. It doesn't have as long, and I don't know if they have different sizes. They probably do have different sizes as well for this one. I'm not sure what size this one. Okay, this is a size 2. So I think there's probably a 1, maybe there's a 3, I don't know. But so I have the 2 in the Diva cup, and I have the B in the organic cup. They have those 2 holes, just like this one does. See, and then the organic cup has some measuring lines. The organic cup has the measuring lines as well, but this one actually has numbers in it, like 5 ml, 7.5 ml. You know, which you're typically not using that as bleeding that much, right? So the Diva cup is slightly longer than the organic cup. But after I used both of them, this one was a much better fit for me. So basically, when you buy these and you bring them home, you're supposed to sanitize it. And you sanitize it by putting it in boiling water. Let me see. Okay, so here they tell you, let me see if they have the, so this is the box. It's really cool, really. The box, this is the box for organic cup, and it tells you, what are they saying here? It's certified vegan. Okay, so before use, they have a video or a link or something where you can go and you whatever, but just like they said, just like I just said, before using the organic cup for the first time, you should sterilize the cup. I said sanitize, sterilize, same thing. The cup in boiling water for 3 to 5 minutes. So you have to do that. Now, an alternative to doing that, and I don't know if I would call it an alternative because I actually did that, but one thing you that could be nice to have is this menstrual cup sanitizer. Okay, menstrual cup steam sterilizer. It's very cool, and I'm just gonna show you. This is what it looks like. So you pour water into it, distilled water or whatever kind of water, but that's clean. You plug this up, throw your menstrual cup in it, and then it's gonna steam it. So I will show you how that's done in just a second. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use the sterilizer to sterilize the menstrual cup. Okay, so I'm going to pour some distilled water into the chamber. You drop your menstrual cup in it. And then you press the button. I don't know if you can see the button. And so it's gonna gets all steamy, and then it's going to sterilize your menstrual cup. Okay, so I don't know if you can hear it. It is sterilizing. It's doing the work it's supposed to do. And yeah, so I really liked, I did use both of them, but I ended up liking the organic cup better. So they have different ways to for the insertion. There is a punch down method, a C-fold method, but in each step, I showed you both methods. Each step, you want to be very, very relaxed. So the punch down method is this method I showed you. You punch it down and then insert. It's really going. And the C fold is you pretty much make it into a C. See, like that. And then you insert. And the box shows you how to do that. Once you know how to make the C fold and the punch down or whatever, once you know how to do that, you're good to go. And that pop sound just confirms that because you're folding it, right? You're gonna fold it like this. I think these two spots here to kind of tell you how to do the folding. So you fold it there, and you're gonna insert it just like this. And if you can pull a little bit on the tail, just tug it a little bit. When you hear that pop, you know that it's released properly and it's sitting nice and snug where it's supposed to sit. And then they tell you if you feel any dents or folds on the base, you want to rotate it and things like that. But and then also this little tail here, if it's sticking out too long, they have these 3 notches here where you can, you know, clip them just to make them shorter. So you know, because we're all shaped a little differently, so whichever one works best for you is what you're going to use. So the thing you have to remember, just like tampons, there is a risk of toxic shock syndrome. With tampons, you also have the same risk with the menstrual cups if you don't sterilize, if you leave it in too long, if you don't wash your hands, you know, if it's not sterilized, if you happen to insert it with any form of bacteria or whatever, that may be the case. If you leave it in too long, that may be the situation that you're going to be faced with. So obviously you need to make sure that you are aware of how long you've had it in, and you're never inserting something that hasn't been sterilized into your body. So this little thing is going. So anyway, to me, and the reason I said if you have daughters and things like that, I have a niece, and actually I have a bunch of nieces, and I am doing so much I'm advocating this so much because it is a much better option than having to toss out tampons all the time with all that blood, and you know, just this, you while you shower, you take it out and you clean it, and it's like it never happened. It's reusable. You don't have to keep buying. You buy 2, 3 the most, maybe every 6 months, why do I say 6 months? A year, after a year or 2 or so, you can replace them. But when you calculate the cost of your tampons or your sanitary pads and all those other things with this, you're gonna find out that you're saving a lot more money using this than with the tampons. I mean, you know, it's just, unfortunately, I found out about them a lot later, and then the menopause took over. and the obesity took over. But I mean, now I think that things are turning around and my body is about to start behaving a lot more normally than it's been, and then I'll be able to use this and not spend as much money on tampons. I'm all about making wise you know, financial choices. I'm all about that. I don't like to throw money away. I'm sure some people will disagree with that. But I mean, It needs to be functional, it needs to be cost effective, and that's how I like to live my life. So yeah, tell me, do you use menstrual cups? Have you ever thought about it? Is it an idea that you ever even entertained at one point? Or maybe you haven't, and maybe you have some daughters. Maybe this is something you want to talk to them about, because you know, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So you can see the steam going. The it's sterilizing the cup. Oh, and you gotta, once it's sterilized, you don't want to go immediately and touch it or whatever, because it's really, really hot. So you let it cool down before you take it and you go and insert it. But I don't know if this made any sense to you, but I hope it was informational. Maybe it's something that you want to go look into yourself. But I'm not pushing any of these products. I bought this myself or whatever, and if they, I will put a link in the link for the Diva Cup or for any other. I think that there's several different brands out there, so I'll put different links in the description box if you are so inclined to look into them and try them out. But anyway, that's it. Thank you, my Smooners, for joining me for this short and informational topic. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will circle back. Love you, my Smooners.